do you live somewhere where it's super humid and you're always at a loss of what you're gonna do with it and how you're gonna handle your skin and what kind of products you're gonna use? Well, I'm here today to talk to you all about skin and humidity and really help build a really great add to your home care routine to balance out the skin. So let's first just begin the entire topic, humidity. We love it, we hate it. Is it good for us? Is it bad for us? What do we have to identify about what humidity is in the first place? It's just a lot of water, wetness in the air, and we can experience this in different heat temperatures as well. So let's first start with tropical, shall we? So I think all of us who may have had a trip somewhere, a nice island on the ocean, and it's really warm outside, but then it is also very humid. So the skin can feel a bit heavy, you feel a bit more lethargic, so that could be one. Another type of humidity some of you may have experienced could be like coastal humidities. It's like cool temperature, high humidity. So we have a different type of sensation, how the skin is going to respond in that type of climate. And then we have our just classic humidity that we might find when we're maybe in where there's a lot of water nearby. So this could be where there's lots of lakes. And again, that could be when the summers are getting hot. We can get more cumulative, kind of a heavier weighted humidity. But in the winter months, we might switch up and be a bit more cool and humid. So just wanted to kind of give us a little bit more of a broad perspective of that humidity can come in different ways and can be in different air temperatures. So I want to begin with tropical. So let's just go tropical, talking more of that heavy, hot, humid heat. And what's really interesting here is that the temperature outside could be, let's say, like 80, 85. And then with the humidity, because it adds more heaviness or weight on top of the skin, it'll feel more like 95. So most people who do go to tropical areas and they want to be in that nice warm and humid air, we tend to feel a little bit heavier, a little more lethargic. Well, it's perfect for relaxing. I don't know about you, but it's my messaging to, like, you know what, maybe I just need to chill out and have a little relax for a while, enjoy this warm weather. But what is it doing to the skin? So there's a couple of things we need to be keeping in mind, is that if we think about it, so let's say the body gets warm, body gets hot. The natural thing our body does is it wants to cool down. The way it cools down is you perspire, right? So you sweat, and the sweat's going to bring up some water to the surface of the skin, and that is supposed to then cool you down. But what happens when you're producing the water, but then there's also a lot of water weighing on top of it? You kind of get this kind of trap in between, and this can cause some havoc in the pores and can also make the skin have the appearance of redness, because we're also seeing a bit of heat. So it's not uncommon to see the skin flush a little bit, the cheeks get a little bit more pink, you feel a bit more of that temperature rising in the skin itself, because you've got that little bit more of that impact on the top. Some issues, though, is that it's also trapping the other things like particulate matter. So those would be things like pollution, or could be allergens like pollens and stuff, are also sticking there in between. So not only now do we have the heat, we have that excess weight of the water, but it's also kind of connecting and trapping in any, let's just call it particulate matter for the sake of our conversation today, which then can get into our pores. What's the other thing? Oh yeah, skin gets warm, pores tend to open up a little bit more. So we can see that there can be a lot going on. So we need to consider, what can we do to help lift that off, open up the skin a little bit more, so that we can put some treatment inside of there to create some balance. So we'll definitely come back to that in a moment. Now, what about that cool, humid climate? That would be like kind of your rainforest, so like your Washington, Oregon, up in Canada in the corner here in British Columbia. We have that kind of temperature. And the issue here is that it kind of is a trickery to the skin, and can be a little bit hard to manage, because we are seeing that we have that cooler weather, which will then change the amount of water. So we can lose water in our skin due to the cooler temperatures. And then we have this humidity that is kind of trapping on over the top, and it's creating a little bit more havoc, again, similar, putting those allergens or some particulate matter into the skin. So we kind of find that we're always kind of struggle of balancing because of our climate. And it is going to be something we also need to specifically look at how we're treating and managing it overall. So I think that's a really good place for us to start today, and giving us a little bit more of an idea of the type of humidity that we can be experiencing. And I think those two are pretty good places to begin, knowing that you have the kind of that really hot type of humidity, then we have a cooler type of humidity. So the products I'm going to share with you today are going to be a good balance that you could use on either or, and then I'll give you a couple little extra tips in between so that you are, maybe you already have some of these products at home, and how you can adapt and use them in your routine either daily or weekly. I think the very first place we should always begin is cleansing. Okay, so you want to take a look at your cleansers. I like to use type of exfoliating cleansers are very beneficial. And then another step that you might also want to be thinking about is exfoliation. And when you're picking your exfoliants, so some exfoliation treatments from Eminence, you want to look for the BHAs and the AHAs. You can pick any of our Vitaskin exfoliating peels. They're very light, very nice and gentle to the skin, but will give you that little bit of that acid, so then you can get a deeper cleanse to the skin. So remember that trapping I was talking to you about with the humidity and anything kind of collecting it, we really want to be able to lift that off so that whatever we do next is actually going to get in there and do its job. So that would be some considerations. Another thing, of course, masking is always beneficial. So you can use gel-based masks if you have really hot, weighted humidity kind of thickening in the air. You might want to choose something a bit lighter and cooling to the skin. So gel-based masks are fantastic for that. And then we also have more of that cool and humidity. We want to find more of a balance, and maybe bring some more hydration into the skin because we are losing it. Here in front of me today, oh, fantastic. We have the charcoal exfoliating gel cleanser. Remember saying using a good cleansing exfoliation. This is kind of like a 2-in-1. Get everything doing. What I do enjoy about this not only is that, it just feels super clean and polished and the pores feel amazing afterwards, but there's the peppermint. When you smell it, it feels cooling and is really satisfying to the skin as well, especially if there is, some irritation caused by that humid climate that you are living in. And not all of us have lived maybe in let's say a rural area. Maybe we're living in a city where there could be a lot more pollution there. So we have to consider those little extra steps to really do a great cleansing in the very beginning. So this one, awesome, love it. Charcoal exfoliating gel cleanser, really good choice. Either side, okay? So whether you're in the humidity tropical or you're in the coastal type of climate. I think, oh yes, here's a mask. Okay, so the strawberry rhubarb mask, beautiful piece. Add it into your weekly routine. You can do it a couple times a week if you like. I also like to use it as a really good express treatment in the mornings. So I could do my charcoal cleanser, really good cleanse going on, and then immediately I can do a mask, because I'm gonna have to consider what may have been like when I woke up in the morning. Maybe my skin's a little bit excess dryness due to my environment in my home, because I think most of us who live in humidity, we like air conditioning because it tends to cool and remove a lot of that wet or moisture out of our air. So we want to think about replenishing our skin, not only to manage the extra water that's in the air, but we have to recognize that if we're in our home environment, we might be taking that water away. So we have to consider, what are we doing to keep that replenishment there? Masks are super easy to do that with. So I would recommend it in the strawberry rhubarb mask. It's like the perfect strawberry smoothie for your skin, and you can do it up to 3 times a week. A really great option, so if you have your favorite moisturizer and you're just looking for that little lift and something a little bit extra that you can do, so following on that strawberry theme in the strawberry family, we have a strawberry rhubarb hyaluronic serum. This is super adaptable to any of your home care routines that you have now. It layers fantastic with vitamin C products. So if you are a big fan of our C and E potent serum, this is a beautiful companion. But honestly, everybody, this is a beautiful companion regardless of where you live, but it is definitely my top pick if you live in an environment where there's more humidity. A couple drops, press it into the skin, then you can follow with either your nighttime care moisturizer, or you can continue with putting on your SPF. Now, something that does come up though is if I have a tropical or it's really hot and really humid, the last thing you may want to put on is another weighted type of product like a full SPF. So an option is to use mineral SPF product, so it's lighter, it's more of a powder formulation, it settles onto the skin a little bit differently, so it's very lightweight, but it still gives you what you're looking for through the day. And I've just grabbed our fabulous Sun Defense Minerals, so it's like this little guy here, and you can just do a beautiful dusting on the skin after your last finishing moisturizer. A good rule to follow when you're applying a powder product is you want to get the coverage that you're looking for. So I generally go around the face like 3 times. I can kind of get a little puff all the way around. Then I know I'm protected, but not to forget your neck and your chest area as well. And it's so good to get those ears. Just a little fun little tip for all of you there. Well, I hope this helped. I know quite a few people who live in humid climates, and I do get these questions quite often, and every now and then I get a chance to holiday where it is hot and humid, so I definitely can relate, and these are just some of my favorite products that I would recommend for you to add. So I hope you really enjoyed our session today. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell, all those fun things, and I will catch you the next time. See you. Bye-bye for now.